It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome. It's the Jill on Money Show. This is the program that tries to take the mystery out of your financial life. And, we try to do it with a little bit of a sense of humor, always keeping the focus on you and what you need. So if you've got something big going on in your life, maybe you're making a transition to a new job. Maybe you're thinking about how you're going to help your kids become financially literate or just get out of the house for once and for all. Maybe you're thinking about your own retirement. Whatever is going on, we are here to help you. Both Mark and I are certified financial planners, and that really means that we're not in the financial services industry. We're just media folks, but we really do take this stuff seriously. We got credentials, we got the experience, and we want to help you out. So if there's something going on and you need a little assistance, a little guidance, maybe some coaching, just give us a holler. Go to jillonmoney.com. That is our website, and click the Contact Us button. When the form pops up, you write us an email, and if you're kind of a shy person, give us a lot of details so that we don't have to ask you to follow up with us again. But if you plan to join us on the program live, you just check the box and Mark will do everything else. It's just that easy. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for our free weekly newsletter. It comes out every single Friday. And while you're on the website, you can check out all of the other content that lives there. There are blogs, there are videos from my television appearances, and of course, the resources section. Right now, let's get started. We are talking to Bridget from South Carolina. Hi, Bridget. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Of course. What can we do for you?
Couple questions. I'm 41. My husband's 45. We have 3 kids, 12, 9, and big age gap 2. We recently built a house last year, and I guess my main question is I'm feeling like we're maybe a little behind in saving for retirement, maybe a little house poor. And I just kind of wanted some advice moving forward on kind of the route we should take. And also kind of what's bothering me most is a little bit of consumer credit card debt.
Is that a new thing for you guys?
It is.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little scary. Okay. Let's do some numbers. You said you're 41, your husband is 45. Are you both working full time?
We are. I am a self-employed photographer, so I'm full-time-ish, but I kind of make my own hours. So
okay, but you're making money. About how much do you earn as a self-employed photographer?
I make varies in the year, but about 140.
Wow,
150 a year.
That's amazing. Fantastic. I'm used to like my struggling artist photographer friends who make $0 and then have to pick up a side hustle. Okay. What about your husband? What does he do?
He's in construction management. So kind of construction superintendent on various job sites.
And how much does he earn?
He earns about $100K per year, but he also gets several bonuses kind of worked in, and we get like full health insurance paid for. So
nice.
Different pluses with that.
Oh my God, that's great. So he's an employee. That's where you get your health insurance. That's great. Does he have a retirement plan through work?
It's kind of a sore subject. Yes, as of this year, through work, we are just setting that up.
Okay.
We probably should have done that before.
Okay, stop with the should.
Okay.
Let's push this aside. We're just going to can we just talk about where you are today? Don't judge yourself, okay?
Okay.
I will judge you after we're off the phone. No, I'm not going to do that at all. Okay. So does he have a 401k?
Yes.
Okay. And what is his contribution level right now?
He actually stepped in the room so I can ask him if he's sitting here.
Honey, how much money are you putting into your 401k? 5%, 10%, something like that?
He said after a match, it's probably going to be about 9 a year.
Okay, good. Perfect. Okay. So there's just a little bit of money in there right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. About how much?
So I wouldn't even say a little bit. We've just opened this
All right.
up,
Just
so
started. I'm just saying
minimal.
Just started.
Most of our IRA is in like a simple, just traditional IRA that we've been contributing the max each year. I mean, the max being like $7,000 a year each.
Okay. So in your IRA, that's all you're using an IRA. You're not using a SEP. You're not using any fancy self-employment retirement plan, right?
I'm not.
Okay. In your IRA right now, how much do you have?
I mean, joint, we have about 200K.
Great. Fantastic. Okay. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I hear
Okay.
that. Good. Any money saved for these kids' college or not yet?
Not yet. I had the
Okay.
529 set up. We had actually had like separate savings accounts before building this house that we kind of drained when we built the house. So just this year, I was trying to kind of gather some organization. And so I do have 529 set up for them.
Okay.
I think my oldest son has like 1,000 in it, but I'm trying to put in like 250 a month going forward for him.
All right. Yeah, but you're putting your $7,000 into your IRAs. Your husband's now using the 401k. We're going to deal with the kids in a second. So
Okay.
tell me about this dream house that you built. How much is this house worth?
We kind of estimate like probably about 2 million. So with my husband being in construction,
What?
this is our second house. He says probably higher than that.
Oh, well, he's in the business, so he should know. But
Our
you're not
second house
moving
we
anyway. We'll say 2.2. How's that?
Okay.
Do you have a mortgage on it?
We do.
What's that? What's the
It's-
outstanding
We
balance?
started at like 600,000. So I think it's a 30-year loan, 6.75% interest. So we're still at like 595.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So it's only 600 grand that's outstanding,
Yes.
and it's at 6.75. And is there any other debt against the house, like a home equity line of credit or some home equity loan? Anything else against that house?
No.
Okay. What's the credit card debt? How much is there?
I estimate about 35K.
Okay. This is what happens when you build a gazillion-dollar house.
I want to know what did you guys have in the savings accounts that you depleted?
Well, I was trying to come up with that earlier because we had built our last house, we had about a $250,000 mortgage on and we sold at 1.3. So we had quite a bit of profit on that house. And then we also had done some spec homes that we had gathered some savings from as well. So honestly, I can't exactly gather, but we probably had about 150,000 on our own. And then we had the profit from the house.
Got it. Okay. And then you got the mortgage. Whatever. It's done is done. And is there any money in savings right now or not?
I have like $12,000. I've been trying to like beef it up.
All right. And besides the credit card debt, any auto loans?
We have a $3,000 left on one auto loan. But
Nice. That's done soon. Okay. Car. Where you are right now, forgetting about the 529 accounts for a second, how do you feel your cash flow is right now? Meaning, given that you've got this big mortgage, you got the credit card stuff, how is the cash flow? What does it look like for you? Is it a struggle every month?
Yes, I would say it is a little bit of a struggle. It comes a lot from being self-employed. My income is very fluctuating. It's not, I kind of make a lot at one point and then I'm slower for a season. So it can be hard to plan with that.
Yeah, I get that. We'll get back to Bridget in just a minute. If you'd like to come on the air with us, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. And if you'd like to join us live, you check the box, and Mark does everything else. He'll arrange to bring you on the air live. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show, and we'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here trying to help you make better, sometimes it's less bad financial decisions. And, I just interviewed somebody. We'll air part of this interview. He's a real big-time industry insider. And one of the things he kept stressing in this interview was you have to stop making unforced errors. And sometimes, gang, we are our own worst enemies. It's not just you. It's all of us. We are human beings. We can be guided by our emotions. That's why when the markets are rolling over and tanking and really feel terrible, you feel like you want to sell everything. And meanwhile, when things start going up, you want to pile in. All those emotions can often lead you astray. And so why not get back to basics? Let's try to figure out where you are trying to go to, and then Mark and I will attempt to figure out the different routes that'll help you get there. That's kind of what we're doing. We're kind of helping you navigate your financial journey, and we are here to help you out. If you need some assistance, all you need to do is go to our website. That's JillOnMoney.com. You click the Contact Us button. It's in the upper right-hand corner. Wherever you go on the website, that's where it will be. And then write us a note. And if you'd like to join us live, you check the box, and Mark does everything else. He'll arrange to bring you on the air live. And it is true that I tend to really like having you on the air with us, because then I can ask you follow-up questions in real time. Now, I know you're shy. You don't want to do it. But get over it. We'll change your name. We'll anonymize you. It will be fine. Just check that little box. Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, you want to check out another feature that we have. It's called Jill on Money Live. That's our subscription service. It costs $45 for the next 12 months. You are able to participate in 4 quarterly live webinars. We just had a great one with Mike Quincy from Consumer Reports, cars, trucks, everything you ever wanted to know. You get the whole back catalog of my interviews and a lot of bonus audio and video content. So check that out. That is Jill on Money Live. Right now, let's get back to Bridget from South Carolina. You said how much are you putting into the 529? A couple $100? Is that what you're doing?
My oldest son, I've been doing $250 a month for his, and then I have, I think, $150 for my 9-year-old, and then I just created the other one for my 2-year-old, and I've been doing like $100 in his right now.
So all of this is fine. It's okay. The car payment will be done when?
February.
Later this year? February?
Yeah.
Okay. So February of 26. What's that payment amount? Do you happen to know that?
$533.
Of course you know that. Okay. Mark, is there a way that you can see that they should try to get rid of that credit card debt? Is there any way? I mean, because I imagine the credit card interest rate, like I know the average credit card interest rate is 21.9%. So is there any way that you think that they should get maybe an extra home equity loan line against the house to pay off the credit card?
I mean, that's a possibility. It's going to be the mortgage, the interest rate's going to be less than the credit card for sure.
Yeah. I mean, unless you don't have a zero balance credit card, do you?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that anyway, because I don't know if you can pay it off in a year.
Yeah. I mean, we've never really had credit card debt. It just sort of happened after the house, and it just sort of snuck up on us. So
yeah, I hear you.
They could, this is really just like a pause for like a year, maybe a little more than a year, and just pause IRA contributions, pause whatever's going into the 529, capture that car payment when it ends at the beginning of next year, and then, just focus on wiping it out.
There's 2 ways to think about that. So one is that you do that, right? And so we know that you've got 2, 3, so you're putting away 500. So it's 500 a month for 529s.
Yes.
Right. And 533 would come from the car. You know what I would do? I mean, your husband's in the business. I'm sure you dealt with the bank. I actually would say like the 600 grand. Is it a fixed rate loan or is it adjustable?
It's adjustable.
Mm-hmm. And was it a home equity line of credit? That I just trying to figure out what kind of loan it was, because I'm wondering if there's some way to, pop extra money, or whether we have to get a whole separate loan for you.
It's a conventional. It started off as like a building loan.
Yep.
And then it auto converted when we finished the house.
Okay.
So we built the house ourselves. And I guess my whole question is, my husband's sitting here. His idea is we sell the house. We can sell it after 2 years.
Now?
He wants to sell it next year, buy
What?
a house in cash, and then have extra money, buy a house.
You just built this house. Aren't you exhausted from it? Can't you enjoy it?
That's where we're not mesh, and we love the area. So we're just trying to figure out. It's a little bigger.
It's possible.
Than we probably need is.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it sounds like the real estate market in that area is nuts. You're still going to need a house that's going to hold 5 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could you really buy? Could you buy a house like for $1.5 million or not?
We could. Older. Yeah, you definitely could. We've built, we bought a lot.
Older implies a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. But he's a construction dude, so they can do work cheaper than like mortals like you and me. Okay, I think that's a possibility. If you really are, if you can do it, but like you're exhausted and you have a 2-year-old and like you're trying to deal with your life.
Right.
I think there's two.
And
All right, if that's
and in an email she says, capital letter, love our location, and they don't want to sell.
oh well, she doesn't want to sell. He does.
I don't want to have debt.
You don't have a lot of debt.
You don't.
House that's paid for.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the debt. That is the credit.
Yeah. Here's what I've got two choices for you that I see. I'm not sure I would sell it this second unless you stumbled on something where you like Bridget's husband. If you said, "Oh my God," because you're in the business, you may see things that that we may not see. Maybe if that happened, but what if you just wait? You're going to wait a year anyway because you want to be in this place.
We have to be in here 2 years, actually.
2 years.
Anyway,
so maybe with that being said, then I might go to the bank where you have that construction loan and say, "Can you price a?" They may not even do it, but you have to see if they'll do it, like a $50,000 or a $75,000 loan. Okay. Find out what the pricing is. Okay. I would get that loan right now and I'd immediately pay off your credit card debt. Or if it's a line of credit, pull down if you could get $100,000 line of credit right now. Okay. Pull down 35 grand, pay off the credit card debt. And then you can pay your minimum payments on the equity line of credit. What's the loan amount? What's the loan percentage on the car?
It's very low, like 2.
Okay, don't pay that off then. Okay, so just having that line of credit will relieve some burden. Okay, so again, if you get a line of credit or just a loan, whichever has better pricing, especially if you're going to sell this house, then I'm happy to do this. Okay, so maybe it's 50 grand or a $50,000 line. Pull down 35, pay off your credit card. Start making payments on this thing. And now you've got some breathing room. Then in February, you're 533. That 533 from the car loan is going to go pay down your home equity line of credit. You're just going to help pay that down. It's going to be, your cash flow will improve immediately because no matter what that line of credit is, it could be 10%. It's going to be cheaper than your credit card.
Right.
Okay. And now you have some breathing room. In a year, I'm fine with you selling and buying a house, owning it outright. At that point, if that were the case, if you owned, if you had $1.5 million house and you've got no debt, the big thing you have to do is then say, all of our money has to really start to go gangbusters on saving. So it would be building your savings account. So what eventually, let's just pretend you sell the house for 2.2, you've got, let's pretend it's $700,000 of debt because we've got, Jill made me get a stupid loan and that was so stupid, but whatever, you still have it. Now you are at your 1.5 million, right? But you have no mortgage payment and you have no credit card payment and you have no car payment. And now all of that money, that free cash flow, it's going to beef up your savings. You're going to max out your husband's retirement account and you're going to start putting more money into the kids' college fund. You're in this weird, Mark's right. It is a transitional period. This is a 2-year period. We just have to take the pressure off for 2 years. We'll get back to Bridget in just a moment. If you've got a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Write us a note. And if you'd like to join us live, check the box and Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. We'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, the program that is trying to help you make better financial decisions. And a lot of the stuff that we are talking about, I know that you understand it. You have the brains to understand it. But as I've said, this stuff, this financial stuff, can really be clouded by competing forces. On one hand, you may say, oh, I really want to save for my retirement. And yet, on the other hand, I really want to try to help my kids get through college and help defray the costs there. Which is more important? How can I do both? Sometimes you've got competing priorities. And if that's you and you need some help just kind of thinking it through, we are here to help strategize with you. So get on to our website, JillOnMoney.com. There you'll see the Contact Us button. It lives in the upper right-hand corner wherever you navigate on the website. That's where it is. Just click the box, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, check the little box, and Mark will do everything else. You know, I was recently talking to a bunch of really impressive financial advisors, and I said to them, you know, sometimes your clients come on our program. And I think that that's a great idea, that if you're feeling a little bit unsure about the advice you're given, or maybe someone tries to sell you something, or you want some reassurance that you're on the right track with the type of advisor that you've chosen, why don't you give us a holler? That's another reason to come on the air with us. You know, I used to be in the business. I was a certified financial planner and I owned a company and I gave financial advice for a living. And then, you know, a million years ago, I went into media full time. But I understand that sometimes you're working with an advisor and you might not be sure it's worth it or not. Give us a holler. We're happy to talk about that as well. And I think that there are a lot of people who can really benefit from working with a fiduciary advisor and other folks who are perfectly capable of doing it on their own. So whatever it is for you, we'll help you figure it out. Right now, let's get back to Bridget from South Carolina. You have a good chunk of time to start saving money. And I'm just going to say this a couple of times because I know that your parents, and education's important, but like the retirement is more important than the kids. Kids can always get a loan to go to college. Kids can always make different choices. You can help them later. You need to get through this period of relief of your cash flow and also pay attention to your retirement. Imagine how much that money you're going to have. You know, we're talking about how much is your mortgage payment right now on the 6 3/4 loan, 6.75?
It's about five, including the escrow, about $5,000 a month.
All right. So you got to pay taxes. So unfortunately, sorry, you have to do that. But let's say you're, 4,000, let's say you're going to have 4,500 and I don't know how much you're paying down on the credit.
It's 39 without the escrow actually, but we still pay insurance.
And then what about the credit card? How much are you paying on that?
You know, it varies because I use it to pay like our insurance and then I pay it back. So I'm trying to stay on top of it every month. But I mean, maybe interest per month is like, 200 on the one, but I try to pay at least 2,000 a month on all of it, if not more.
Okay. So like, honestly, just think about this. Go a year from now with me. Okay. And now think about this. Instead of having all of this cash flow out to service debt, some of the debt is fine, right? Okay. It's like a housing debt. I'm not going to go crazy with it. Instead of that, now just imagine that you have $6,000 a month to divvy up between your husband's 401k, your savings, and the kids' college. You guys are going to be fine. Now, listen, I don't live in the house, and I look at a house. I'm the worst person in the world to ask. But if you love the house and you want to make it work in the house, it'll still work. It's just more pressure during this period. And why don't you just go at the very least, okay? At the very least, if you get a line of credit, you pay down the credit card, in a year, you'll see how you feel. Maybe you're going to be much better off. Maybe you'll be making a little more money. Maybe.
He does not want mortgage debt.
I know. This is like I get it. But like, he's also married to the mother of his children. Our mother of dragons right here she's got 3 little dragons and we've got to make sure that she's happy and he's happy. So I think at the very least we can table it for a year. Get a line of credit, pay off the credit card. Don't pull down the line of credit for just the credit card. You will feel so much better once that's gone. And then you can start, whatever you were putting down on the credit card, you'll put some money down on the line of credit and put some money into savings. Do that for a year. Just do it for a year. Trust me when I tell you, you're going to. Yes. Oh, hello, husband. Speak up.
Do you think it makes sense to pull a line of credit or to, possibly wait a couple and see if interest rates drop at all and then just do a refi?
Well, the problem with a refi for you guys is if you're going to sell, the cost of the refi is going to be thrown out the window. It doesn't make sense. So unless you saw a refi that dropped to a very significant level, much lower, then don't do it. Like if you're really thinking about, I mean, first of all, if interest rates go down in a year from now, then you'll have a better chance to refi. So I wouldn't do it until you make the decision one way or the other about selling the house.
Gotcha.
Don't refi yet. And like I said, I mean, do I think interest rates are going down? Generally, probably soonish. Next year, definitely. So next year, you might say, hey, without the credit card debt and really looking at this line of credit, which we were able to pay down, or you might say, hey, you know what we can do? We're able to refi at 5.25%, and now we're going to stay here. And that may be enough for you. Now, husband of Bridget, I want you to breathe a little and see, just let it be, and don't hammer this home about, I want to be mortgage free. I get it. You want something, she wants something, and we're going to try to figure out the best way forward for you guys. But let's just chill. You're not doing anything for a year anyway.
True.
All right. All right. And also, Mark and I want to maybe visit South Carolina, maybe. And sounds like you have a very big house. So that's good for us. Do you guys, now, let me just ask you some dumb questions also.
Yeah.
3 kids, do you have your wills done, your estate planning done?
Basic.
Oh.
We probably need. We do. We did do it a while ago, but not since the third kid has been.
Come on now. He's worried about his mortgage, and his estate documents don't reflect his current situation. Go find some lawyer who owes you a favor.
My brother-in-law is an attorney. I can't believe it's ridiculous.
There you go. Okay, so here we go. All right, now, do we have consensus that we've got a year to go, and we're going to make a different? Call us back in a year. Let's see where we are.
Okay.
We will put you to Mark, put them on the top of the line if they come back in a year or 9 months. Okay. If you've got a financial question, we'd love to help you out. All you need to do is go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Jill on Money will be right back.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are answering financial questions. As many as you got, we got answers for. Now, I don't know everything. I am trained as a certified financial planner, and I've studied this stuff over time. But if I don't know the answer to something, I'll let you know, and we'll figure it out with you. Get in touch with us by going to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and write us a note. That note is the email we receive. And right now, let's get to an email from Tina, who writes, my company has offered a new benefit that has a guaranteed acceptance through the end of this month. I am single with no kids, but I'm worried about burdening my siblings with long-term care when I get older. Okay, so we've got this possible purchase of a long-term care policy through work, which, by the way, gang, can often be a really good benefit. In Tina's case, the policy costs $93 a month, and you get a $50,000 benefit. If I need care, the benefit would pay 6% per month, $3,000, with a maximum payoff of 2 times the benefit amount, or $100,000. I'm not sure if this makes sense for me or not. Please help. Okay, Tina, here's the thing. I mean, if you're single, it's not the worst thing in the world to plow through all of your money. On the other hand, this is a very affordable benefit, and I think it is worth considering a purchase of this policy because, again, when you have this through work, it's usually a lower amount. And just find out one thing. Is this policy portable? Can you take it with you if you leave your employment? That's one question to ask. But as long as you can afford it, I think this is a very, very good benefit. And anyone else who's listening, if you have a long-term care benefit through work, this might be a really good way to get at least some partial coverage. Okay, next question from Gary, who writes, Hi, Jill and Mark. I'm not sure what to do with my employer-sponsored 401k. I have about $300,000 in it. I'm 62 years old and I hope to retire in a year or two. I also have a state pension with $340,000 in a target date fund, 2025. Being so close to retirement, I'm concerned about losing some of the money in that employer-sponsored 401k. It's a municipal 401k, gang. Okay, so just so you know that. I've consulted with a CFP, a certified financial planner, who has advised on using some of the funds inside of the retirement account and opening a variable annuity, which I did not feel comfortable doing. My question is, what should I do with this account? The fund has one option, a transfer to a PIMCO short asset fund they call an enhanced cash fund. It has lower risk. What about opening an IRA through one of the brokerage houses? My wife is 57. She's got a Fidelity account through her employer. It's got $50,000. This is all of our funds for retirement, no other accounts. Please advise. Okay, Gary, I want to know so much more about you. But the most important thing is, will your future pension cover a lot of your needs? If the answer is yes, then we don't have to go to cash inside of this 401k. But if you're really freaking out, we may want to look at the retirement, the 401k, and I'd want to know what some of the other options are inside of it. I agree with you. I don't feel comfortable with an annuity. Please don't do an annuity, but do get back in touch with us, because before you roll this over, before you do anything with this 401k, I really think we need to hear more about what else is going on in your life, how much money you need. Will your pension and Social Security cover what's going on? These are the real critical questions to answer before you make any move. Okay? Okay, Jennifer writes, I'm 53 years old and I'll be retiring in 3 years and I'll have a pension of $100,000 a year. I currently have a total of $1.34 million with $80,000 in a Roth. I'm concerned with an impending recession, what I should do with my allocation. I have almost everything in stocks, 8% international and just 6% in bonds. I don't intend on touching my investments for a number of years, but I am still concerned that the U.S. economy could implode. Okay. Another question, should I max out the 24% bracket this year with a Roth conversion or wait until after I retire? Well, you're going to still have a pension of $100,000 a year, which means that you'll be in the 22% bracket no matter what, regardless of anything. I mean, I probably would wait to do a conversion, but even I don't know. Actually, no, I wouldn't wait, because once you convert, whatever you convert will be in the 24% bracket. So I wouldn't worry about that. I'd stay in the 24% bracket with a Roth conversion, as long as you have the money to pay for the tax bill. That said, look, you're 53, and if the $100,000 pension covers most of your needs, you don't have to go crazy with a reallocation. If you really feel like you've messed this up and you feel like, oh my gosh, I have really put too much risk out there, and you want to change your risk tolerance and you really want to shift your allocation, just make sure you're not going to switch it back. So many people, you're getting a great lesson in what's my risk tolerance. Now you know. But I would be very worried if all of a sudden we hear from Jennifer in a few years and the market has turned around and she wants to undo the lesson that is learned. So just be careful. There's no urgency. If you want to get back in touch with us, of course, you can let us know. If you have a financial question or you're making some sort of big transition in your life, get in touch with us. We can really help. Those are the times where I think we can give you the best guidance. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, check the box. It's Jill on Money, and we'll be right back. You're back. It's Jill on Money. And before we conclude the hour, let's sneak in an email. This is from Linda, who writes, I'm wondering if you can suggest what I should do with 114 assorted bonds. They are in my name as the owner and my husband as payable on death. Of course, just interjecting here, gang, these are all treasury bonds. So we're about to go into a deep dive on savings bonds. And just so everybody knows, when you have these bonds, they all act slightly differently. You know, the double E bonds have certain features. I bonds have a little inflation rider, but everything can be found at treasurydirect.gov. Okay, let me get back to Linda's question now. The smallest series double E bond is $50, and the largest series I bond is $5,000. The first one matures October of 26. The rest are various years until September 2041. Oh boy, the $5,000 series I. Okay, my husband and I are both 68 years old. My question, should I start to redeem these bonds even though they haven't matured yet because of our age and ownership? We have two sons who will have to redeem these if we die before they mature without their name on them. Should I start to redeem some each year and not hold to maturity? My husband is retired and I still work 26 hours a week. We both collect Social Security. This probably will have an effect on our taxes. Yeah, I don't love that tax impact, I got to tell you. Perhaps there's something else to do. Could we gift these bonds to your kids? Because I'm wondering whether your kids are in a lower tax bracket than you are. As far as I understand, I think this is right, but if you go to treasurydirect.gov, I think that you can actually transfer the bond to your kids, and then they could essentially sell it, whatever the embedded tax liability is, and hopefully pay the tax that's due at that lower rate. Maybe that's the way to get this done and be a little bit more tax efficient. If you've got a question about a stock, a bond, or anything else going on in your financial life, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are here trying to help you make better financial decisions, and we do that by making you do a tiny bit of work. Just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, check the box, and Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. You'll love it. Right now, let's take an email. This is from Rachel, who writes, Hi, Jill. I love your show. I've learned so much while listening to you over the last 6 months. Oh, so she's a new listener. I love that. Okay, so she writes, I'd love for you to take a look at my situation and advise on whether a goal of retiring at age 55 is feasible. I'm 44 years old. I have one teenage child. I'm divorced, single. I live in the Midwest. I work full time and I earn $120,000 a year. Okay, so she's 44, so we got 11 years to go. $280,000 in a 401k. She contributes the max, and about of that 280, 80% traditional, 20% Roth. An additional $50,000 in a Roth IRA, which she is maxing out, so that's good. So really saving a lot of money here. $55,000 in a brokerage, $15,000 in an HSA, $25,000 in a high yield savings, and another $34,000 in CDs. Now, Rachel says that the money in the CDs, that's money for her daughter. Her father passed away, so she receives $1,300 a month in survivor benefits until she's 18. That's a couple of years from now. The money goes into 4 laddered CDs, and it should have about $70,000 for her to use towards state college. That's good. Rachel herself is entitled to a pension. And she says if she works until age 55, I would be entitled to about $4,000 a month at age 65. Wow. So it's incumbent on her to try to work until 55. That translates into $4,000 a month at age 65. And why is that important? Because Rachel also says she spends currently $4,500 a month. And she gives us our Social Security estimate. Oh my gosh, her home will be paid off next year. And she's going to stay in it. Parents are in good health, financially secure. And here's the questions. If I were to work at my current job until age 55, how would I fund the 10 years until the start of my pension? I was thinking of using the rule of 55 to draw down my 401k funds and also work part-time, earning 15 or 20 grand a year. I would be able to stay on my employer's health plan and pay the same premiums as if I were an employee, and then it could use the HSA to cover health expenses as needed. I think this is a great plan. I mean, so let's just think about this. In 11 years, the money that she has now, the $280,000, it will grow. So let's say at age 55, you've got a chunk of money that's saved. I don't know, $500,600,000, something like that. I think this is a good plan. We'll see what, listen, 11 years from now, we got to see where things stand. But I think what I would try to do is to only use the rule of 55 for the traditional money. And then maybe you could deplete that from 55 to 65 and supplement with whatever you need to supplement. It would be kind of nice if you didn't have to tap the Roth assets at all, and that would just be something you could keep in place. She is going to make all of her future contributions 100% Roth. So she asks whether we think taking a delayed Social Security at 70 would make sense. She said, my family has longevity and I am in great health. Her Social Security is $3,400 a month at age 67, $4,300 at age 70. I think waiting makes sense if you can do that. She says, should I continue to save 15% in my 401k, or would you recommend putting that money elsewhere? What do you think about that, Mark? So 15% is going into her now all Roth 401k. What do you think?
She needs to make sure that she can use the rule of 55 where she is, because if for whatever reason she can't and she needs to, fill this 10-year gap, then I think she needs to redirect some of that money into the brokerage account.
I'm going to presume, I thought that she probably, I'm hoping that she can use the rule of 55. But yeah, I agree with you. She has to make sure that that's the case. But you know what? If you can do, I think this is all doable, and you should not really, I wouldn't stress too much about it, but I think the game plan is a good one to stay till you're 55. Obviously, every year you stay in that job, the better it would be. Like, it may be that you're like, you know what, let me stay till I'm 57 because that allows me to save some more money. Let's see where you are. I think the general game plan is a good one and should get you where you want to go. And especially if you're going to work part-time. I think $15,000 or $20,000 is a good goal, but I bet it'll be more than that. Okay, this is one of these situations that simply makes me crazy on behalf of this poor person. This is Eileen, who writes, I'm a recent widow, so I'm very sorry, Eileen. It stinks. My husband has a stack of savings bonds, Series EE. The stack is 3 inches tall. The bank will not cash them out, and neither will the credit union. From what I have researched, my only option is sending them to the Treasury Department. Is there a way this many bonds can be scanned rather than me transposing all the numbers to a paper form from the Treasury? Where can I get this done? Also, the bonds have my late husband's name and payable on death with his father's name. Oh boy. So she says, I have a death certificate for both. Please help me find out how these can be cashed or transferred. Okay. All right, this is a little bit of a pain in the neck. So I want to just tell anyone who has paper bonds that it is important that you absolutely try to make sure you put these bonds into the Treasury Direct system. Okay, so what I want you to know is it's a pain, but it's going to be fine. All right, so the first thing you're going to have to do is go to the treasurydirect.gov website, and then you're going to have to open a Treasury Direct account. It's very easy. And then what will happen is you'll have an account where you can then say establish a link. You're going to try to then convert your paper bonds following these instructions. And yes, You have to write the name of every single bond out. And I did this with my mother-in-law and father-in-law while they were still alive. And it's a pain in the neck, but it is doable. And the reason why people are always happier that they've done this is that when you have this account, you don't have to worry about keeping track about which bonds are paying interest and which bonds are not. The other thing that I want to be clear is that what I suggest is making a copy of every bond you have. Just to have that. And then when you follow the directions at treasurydirect.gov, you should be able to either convert them to paper bonds if you still want to keep them. You can cash them in and put a link to your bank account, and the money will flow directly from Treasury. Like, you have the paper bonds, they go to treasurydirect.gov, then the bonds are available. And then when you want to sell them, or if they mature, you then have that money sent to your bank account. And that can be done pretty seamlessly. It's sort of like cumbersome, but it's doable. If there's something going on in your financial life or your real life, maybe it's a new job, maybe you're trying to figure out about retirement, maybe you're trying to figure out how to upsize your home or downsize your home, anything that is remotely related to a dollar, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and write us a note. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we are here answering your questions. If you've got one, go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us that note. And if you'd like to join us on the air live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, don't forget to check out our subscription service. It's called Jill on Money Live. $45 for the next 12 months. You'll get 4 live webinars, all of the back catalog of those webinars, and bonus audio and video content. Jill on Money Live. Join us. We'd love to have you. Okay, right now, let's talk to Ellen. She joins us from Massachusetts. Hello, Ellen. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great. What can we do for you?
Well, I need some help making a decision. I've got a sort of a head versus heart decision. So
I'm going heart. Okay, sorry. We're done. Goodbye. Okay. All right. I'm definitely a heart person. So let's make sure that that your heart is leading the way, and we'll use our collective heads to see if it's possible. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay. What's the heart want to do?
Well, there's a little backstory for it to some of this, where 10 years ago, my husband and I sort of stood on our tippy toes, looked at the horizon. We were like, ooh, retirement's coming up. I had DIY'd I sort of made financial decisions, DIY'd our finances, but where we saw retirement coming, we thought maybe we should have a professional check this out.
Okay.
Met with a professional, and he said, yeah, you guys are doing pretty good, and here's a plan, for you to take on for the next 10 years.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden, all these life things happened.
Like?
Job loss.
No.
Needing to take care of an ill parent. We both had some medical issues, and at each one of these inflection points, we needed to make a decision that was going to impact our financial future, and we always made the decision with our heart. Okay. Probably not the smartest financial decision, but it was the one that, just, I don't know, felt more right, okay. I guess. So now I am at another inflection point, but because my husband and I are both No longer, we're not working. The only safety net we have is our savings and our investments. Like, I'm thinking I need to make the right financial decision.
I'd like to think so.
Not the one, that sort of, I don't know, might make me sleep better at night. I don't know.
Okay, hold on. Let me just interject here. Let's get some data. Let me get some data points down.
Sure.
So, Ellen, how old are you?
I just turned 62.
Okay. And how old is your husband?
He is 66.
Are you guys now over your hump of bad illness, like your own medical issues?
I am. As of March, I am cancer-free.
Oh, mazel tov. God, that's great. Okay. That's good. And your husband's okay?
Yep.
Okay. Has he already claimed Social Security or not?
He did. There's not a lot of longevity in his family.
Okay.
So when he turned 62, he felt like, again,
that's when you don't have when you don't have longevity, that's that's pretty much the only time where I say claim early. So what's the Social Security amount monthly for him?
He nets $1,400.
Okay. And for you, have you claimed yet? You could claim, but
no,
have you?
We get money in the bank.
Okay.
No, I'm going to wait until minimum 67, maybe 70.
Okay, got it. All right. So, and also you mentioned parents. Are those parents still with us?
Well, no, his parents are gone. At least for me, my mother just turned 90.
Oh, boy.
So, which is why I'm thinking like, I'm gonna, hold off on taking Social Security.
Okay. She's a lifer there, 90. She on her own, she's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, God, that's great. Do you have kids, grown kids?
No kids, no pets.
No kids, no pets. I just heard a different acronym that I've ever heard because, we sometimes say double income, no kids or DINKs, but I heard one called PANK, professional and no kids, kind of like that. PANK, professional and no kids. Okay. No kids, no pets. I fully endorse you getting a pet. It's good for your aging. Okay. What have you done in terms of savings and accumulation, like savings and investment? What do you have?
Sort of fans of, I don't know, you call it the bucket strategy.
Whatever. Give me the numbers, baby.
So,
I don't care what you call it. The numbers are the numbers.
So high yield savings account that has about 90,000 in it as of this month.
Good.
Brokerage account with about 500,000.
Great.
That also includes some I don't know what's called ESOPs, like employee stock plans, some index funds, some laddered CDs.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, got it.
And then my husband and I each have, now that we're not working, we rolled everything over. So we have IRA rollovers account with a combination of about 1.4 million.
Okay, that's great. And is that mostly a traditional kind of retirement or Roth?
100%.
Okay, it's all traditional. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. You guys own your home?
We own two.
Okay, let's go with house number one.
House number one, our primary residence, worth about 700,000, and that is mortgage free.
Okay.
And then we have a weekend getaway place that we pretty much use, every other weekend. That's probably worth about 350,000, and that's mortgage free as well.
Okay, that's great. Now, you ready for your big question? Get the pressure's on. How much do you think you spend? I have a feeling Miss Bucket there has an idea about this. So what do you think you have in terms of going forward, how much money you need?
$5,364 a month.
Did I get that, Mark? Did I get that or what? I just knew bucket, do-it-yourselfer, heart versus head. I'm thinking, I don't care what you say about heart. Your head's doing quite a bit of work. Okay, so can I say 5,500? God forbid, I should just round up a little bit. Okay, so and of that 5,500, 1,400 comes from husband's Social Security. So how have you been managing? Where are you pulling from in terms of getting that extra 50 or 60 grand a year that you need?
So we always had a emergency fund,
Mm-hmm.
a high yield savings account with an emergency fund. And so the end of 2023, when I left my job because of my medical issue, we moved money into that high yield savings account.
Mm-hmm.
And so so that is sort of, my bucket one money
Yep.
with 2 years worth of living expenses. And so we pull $4,000 a month out of that
Okay. Got it.
into the checking account.
Perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So obviously, you're going to do that, and you will continue to do that. I guess the question I have for you is, have you pulled any money from your retirement assets yet or not?
Well, that's so my sort of head versus heart decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm only 62, I
Yes.
need health insurance.
Yeah.
When I left my job at the end of 2023, I
Mhm.
selected Cobra.
Mm-hmm.
My Cobra is about to run out.
Okay.
So I need to purchase health insurance.
Okay.
Through
Through the
Marketplace.
Affordable Care Act. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get back to Ellen in just a minute. If you've got a question that's burning up inside of you, don't shoulder that on your own. Give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. We are trying to help you navigate your financial journey. Right now, let's get back to Ellen from Massachusetts.
This is sort of like the first heart decision, and maybe I am looking at this all wrong, and you can tell me I'm an idiot.
No. I know what you're going to say. Can I guess what you're going to say?
Okay, yep.
Let me try to be Karnak, which you may understand, but no one else who's under 60 understands. Okay, so I bet you're going to tell me if I pull money out of my retirement account, then I'm going to make too much money to get the tax credit from the Affordable Care Act. Is that what you're about to tell me?
Well, almost the opposite. I almost feel like I shouldn't take money out of the Affordable Care Act because that's meant for
I don't care either way. No judgment either way.
Genuinely
no
need it.
Well,
you do.
You need it. Wait a second. We're not going to quibble over that. You need this coverage. Now, the question is, where should you get the money to pay your expenses? And should you care about making too much money that you would give up your tax credit? That's really the question I thought you were going to ask, which I'm going to ask for you.
I don't. Well, what I care. So what I don't care about making too much money. Like well,
you're good.
I shouldn't say I'm making. So because of my illness, didn't work at all this year. The only income I earned was interest, dividends, and savings from the high yield and the brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
And then plus my husband's Social Security. So that was $44,000. And I know that puts me well within the range of the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah. I'm thinking about going forward, I guess.
What I'm more concerned about is because, we only live on $5,000 a month, I will eventually be eligible for like $3,700. I think when I turn 67, $4,100 when I turn 70. We're not going to have to dip too much into our IRAs. So
maybe you should.
Well, yeah. So should I like not worry about the subsidies, and should I start doing Roth conversions?
Oh no, I'm not doing Roth conversions.
Okay,
yet. Forget that. Let's take that off the table. So why not take the money that you need forgetting about converting it, taking the money And when let's say you pull out $70,000, okay, from retirement, either yours or his. I don't really care. I guess his, because he's older, because we have to get more money out of his. You take 70 out, you pay your taxes, and now you have the extra money you need. That's what you put in, like do a couple years worth, and you'll replenish your high yield savings account. What if you did that every year? What if you took $70,000 out every year until you reached your Social Security age? I mean, you're going to do Medicare first, but you'll still need money for Medicare. Look, you have 13 years before you turn 75. And you want to whittle down that retirement account over those next 13 years, forgetting about the cost of insurance and rebates and all that stuff. But you want that money out because remember, the rebate is great, but the money that you delay taking out is going to be forced out on you. Okay. So if you do nothing in 10 or 12 years and there's, I don't know, let's just say this $3 million or something coming out, at the end of 12 years. And now the government's saying, oh, you have to take this money out. That's a big chunk of money for you. That's 120 grand a year in income that you were forced to take out. Yeah. And then we have no control over where you are in this. I just think taking a little bit out at a time, and you'll figure out what that amount is. And you are still just managing in this yourself, right? You're doing it yourself.
Yeah, mostly. Well, I was going to, because in a previous century, I had worked for Fidelity Investments. That's where we have all of our funds housed there. And because of the dollar amount, we have access to free financial planning or wealth management planning.
Amazing.
Whatever they call it. So my plan was to run this by, a financial planner. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Don't let them sell you an annuity, but yes, good. Even though they're low cost annuities now at Fidelity. I think, first of all, number one, I don't know about the heart versus the head. You've done an incredible job, in both respects. So whatever choices you've made, you are in great shape. Because we have plenty of money that is built up that will bridge you from, even if it's like from 62 to 70, let's just pretend you wait. Like you're feeling great, life is good. If anything changes in your health, of course, you can always claim early, right? Yep. But as long as you feel good and the diagnosis is good and you feel comfortable with this, let's just say you wait till you're 5 years, you're now going to have this $3,700 coming in, which is, it's going to net less than that, but you'll be able to have more cash flow and maybe you can reduce the amount of money from your retirement account, but maybe you won't. Maybe you're just like, you know what, let's just keep taking the money out because essentially if you are looking at your total income, like you said, it's 40 grand, you're in like the 12% tax bracket. That's not going to be forever. You're going to probably be in the 22% tax bracket, which means you could make up to a couple $100,000 a year. I think you'll be able to do that because between Social Security and whatever dividends interest from your brokerage account, and then take the money out of your retirement account that you need, it's 70-something thousand dollars. It'll net you what you have. And then you're good to go. Every year you can do that. You can just say, like right now, if hey, my high yield savings account, you're taking $4,000 a month out. Maybe you just say right now, what I'm going to do? I'm going to take like 50 grand out of my retirement account right now. I want to beef up that high yield savings account. Fine. And then at the end of the year, you can do it again. You can do 50 or maybe in January, you can say, okay, now I need 70, but you should see what your spending looks like, especially now that you're going to be paying more for your health insurance.
Yep.
And gauge it like that. You don't have to do more than, I don't think you need to do more than $100,000 a year from the retirement account. I think you'd be fine if you did. And frankly, I don't really care. You could like deplete a whole chunk of this and you'll be fine. And you'll then have plenty of money that it will continue to grow. But you want to be mindful of the expense side, because if the expense side starts to drift up dramatically, we may need to make different choices. You're not going to hold, this is what I can guess, is that over time, at some point, you're going to be like, you know what? I don't want to run 2 households. We're going to run one. And you'll have that money. And so you add that to your brokerage account and you guys are in good shape. There's nothing really I don't have any issue here. If you'd like to join us on the air, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and write us a note. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. We are here to try to help guide you along your financial journey. Now, here's the deal, gang. It's like we're Waze or Google Maps. You tell us where you want to go. And Mark and I, we're both certified financial planners. We're going to try to find you the different routes that will get you there. As a listener, when you hear us describe these different routes, you might say, well, what would I do? Which one would I choose? But it's so much better when you get in touch with us yourselves so that we can think about how to navigate what's going on for your journey. So if you would like some guidance, a little ways for your money, just go to our website, jillonmoney.com. And bookmark that website because you're going to want to come back. All of our content refreshes on an ongoing basis. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a Contact Us button. When you click that button, that will pop a form up, and that's the email that we receive from you. If you would like to join us live, which you know I love to have you guys come on the air live with us, check the box. Mark will do everything else. Okay, right now, let's take an email. This is from Janine. Hi, Jill and Mark. You talk quite a bit about moving to a less expensive state in retirement, but I don't remember hearing you talk about moving to a more expensive state. Well, listen, Mark and I live in one of the most expensive states in the country, New York, so we're happy to have you come join us. Okay, Janine says, my husband and I live in Michigan, and we would potentially like to move to be near our son and his family in Minnesota. Everything seems so much more expensive there, from taxes on Social Security, pension, state tax to housing. How do we handle much more expensive cost of living in retirement? We've considered just renting an apartment near them and keeping our home in Michigan because all of our friends are here. Any advice is appreciated. Okay, Janine, if you can rent and not just, upend your entire life, I love that idea. But you've just got to build it in. So when you're looking at your retirement scenario, can you afford to have some extra amount that you spend every single month in rent? So let me give you an example. Let's say that rent is $2,000 a month, and that means that your current income needs during retirement go from $5,000 a month to $7,000 a month. You tell me, can you actually afford it? We'd need a lot more information, but I think there are a lot of folks who find themselves making decisions about retirement, and it's just for, I'm going to move to this low-cost state. I'm going to move to Florida. I'm going to move to Texas. All well and good, but you better test it out first. So maybe what you do is you rent for a little while, and if you really like it, then you sell your house in Michigan, and you can just stay with friends when you come back to Michigan to visit. I don't know. Check it out. Here we go. This is from Nancy. I retired and moved my 401k money to an IRA right before the Fed started raising interest rates. My total bond and total international bond index are down 20%. Any rebalancing has been into shorter term bonds where I could get a good yield without the duration risk. I'm tempted to take the loss on my intermediate bond indexes, stay short on bonds, and take my risk in equities from here on out. I'd love to get your counsel. My loss would be $15,000 on an $800,000 portfolio. I don't like this idea at all. Do you, Mark?
Sure, if I knew exactly what was going to happen, sure.
Exactly right. I don't like this idea, Nancy. First of all, I would just rebalance, and also you're in an IRA, so you're not even going to get a tax loss. I would stay where you are. I would rebalance, and you hold firm. You're going to be investing in this account for a long time. I bet you're not just 2 minutes into retirement. So I'd like to know more about you, but I am not this kind of person who thinks that I don't think that any of us can anticipate where the market is going next. Okay. All right. Now, here we go. This is, okay, I'm going to end this question because this is dedicated to you, Mark. It's from Spencer. Hi, guys. I just subscribed to Jill on Money Live and listened to the webinar with Ed Slott, which prompted me to ask the question, should I go all Roth? Okay, Spencer's 51. My wife is 52. We earn $320,000 annually. So $320,000, that puts them at the top bracket of 24% right now. We have $600,000 in a 401k. That's it for retirement accounts. We have no brokerage accounts yet. My Social Security at full retirement will be $3,900. My wife, let's call it $3,800. Spencer has a pension. It will pay at least $7,500 monthly. My company contributes 10% of my salary annually to my 401k. Oh my God, that was $16,500 this year. My wife is just starting back up with her 401k, contributing up to the match of 6%. We used her previous 401k to start a business. My question is, should we go full Roth? My company has both a Roth and a traditional, and I think there is a way to roll over to a Roth with better investment options. We're looking to retire in about 10 years. Okay, Mark, how do you want to handle this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a slam dunk for me. I would start using the Roth. I don't know if you necessarily got to start, converting everything that you've saved so far, but from here on out, I would make everything Roth. Yes.
I think that I would go again. I think it's a way to diversify your investments. So you don't have to convert right now. We can think about converting when you on the other side, like in 10 years, we can start that. But yes, we would really appreciate and think that a 401k in a Roth version would be a better option for you guys going forward. I'm dying to know what business they started with their 401k. So that's another question altogether. If you need another set of ears and eyes on a situation, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com. You're back. It's Jill on Money. And before we conclude the program, I really want to get to this email because I had a lot of questions about this. It's from Christine, who writes, I saw and listened to Jill concerning the over and under payments of the Social Security system and how those folks who were overpaid may not even realize they were overpaid and will just have money automatically taken out of their Social Security payments. Well, how in the world are we supposed to find out which category we might fit in? Okay, Christine, so let me outline this so you can really understand this. There have always been people who were overpaid by Social Security for some reason. Now, the agency will admit that sometimes the overpayment is due to their error, but sometimes it's due to the recipient not properly reporting information. So way back when, before the pandemic, when you owed money back to the government, you had to forfeit your entire Social Security check to make good on whatever the overpayment was. This caused a ton of financial hardship. So under the Biden administration, the default withholding rate dropped down to 10% of a beneficiary's monthly payment, or $10, whichever was greater. Then the Trump administration says we're going back to 100% withholding rate, but then they changed it again, and now the amended default withholding rate is 50%. Now, the thing that is crazy is you're absolutely right. There is really nothing that you can do. The agency would actually contact you and let you know how this occurred. Otherwise, I would presume that everything's just fine. It's a very unnerving thing to find this out. Chances are it's probably okay. You can always go in and check your Social Security record, myssa.gov, and make sure that everything that's in that record reflects reality. So I hope that helps. And I'm sorry that it kind of scared you a little bit. Well, if you've got a question about Social Security, just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer and king of all things web. Lift someone up, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.